Today, we delve into the epic historical drama, Braveheart. Join us as we explore the riveting tale of William Wallace, a Scottish warrior who leads a revolt against oppressive English rule in the 13th century. Follow along as we dissect the themes of freedom, courage, and sacrifice portrayed in this iconic film. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful movie breakdowns like this. After Alexander III of Scotland died without an heir to the throne, King Edward Longshanks invaded and conquered Scotland in 1280. Young William Wallace witnesses Longshanks' treachery, survives the deaths of his father and brother, and is taken on a pilgrimage throughout Europe by his paternal uncle Argyll, where he is educated. Years later, Longshanks gives his nobleman land and privileges in Scotland, including Prima Noct. Meanwhile, an adult Wallace returns to Scotland, falls in love with his childhood friend Muireann mac Clanogh, and the two marry in secret. Wallace saves Muireann from being raped by English soldiers, but after fending off their second attempt, Muireann is apprehended and publicly executed. In retaliation, Wallace orders his clan to slaughter the English garrison in his hometown and return the occupying garrison at Lanark to England. Longshanks orders his son, Prince Edward, to stop Wallace by any means necessary. Wallace rebels against the English, and as his legend spreads, hundreds of Scots from nearby clans join him. Wallace leads his army to victory at the Battle of Stirling Bridge, then destroys York, killing Longshanks' nephew and delivering his severed head to the king. Wallace seeks assistance from Robert the Bruce, the son of nobleman Robert the Elder and a contender for the Scottish throne. Robert is dominated by his father, who wants to secure the throne for his son by submitting to the English. Longshanks, concerned about the rebellion, sends his son's wife Isabella of France to try to negotiate with Wallace as a distraction while another invasion force arrives in Scotland. After meeting Wallace in person, Isabella develops feelings for him. Wallace, having been warned of Isabella's impending invasion, urges the Scottish nobility to act quickly to counter the threat and reclaim the country. Longshanks leads the English army and confronts the Scots at Falkirk, where noblemen Lachlan and Mornay betray Wallace after being bribed by Longshanks, causing the Scots to lose the battle. As Wallace charges toward the departing Longshanks on horseback, he is intercepted by one of the king's lancers, who turns out to be Robert the Bruce. However, filled with remorse, Bruce rescues Wallace before the English can apprehend him. Wallace assassinates Lachlan and Mornay for their betrayal and wages a 7-year guerrilla war against the English, aided by Isabella, with whom he later has an affair. Robert arranges a meeting with Wallace in Edinburgh, but his father has conspired with other nobles to apprehend and hand over Wallace to the English. After learning of his father's treachery, Robert disowns him. Isabella exacts revenge on the now terminally ill Longshanks by informing him that his bloodline will be destroyed upon his death because she is pregnant with Wallace's child. Wallace is brought to London and tried for high treason before being sentenced to public torture and beheading. Even as he is being hanged, drawn, and quartered, Wallace refuses to submit to the king. As the watching crowd is moved by the Scotsman's valor, the magistrate gives him one last chance, asking him only to say the word mercy, and he will be granted a quick death. Wallace instead shouts, "Freedom," and the judge orders his execution. Wallace sees Muireann in the crowd, smiling at him, just before he is decapitated. In 1314, Robert, Scotland's new king, leads a Scottish army to a ceremonial line of English troops on the fields of Bannockburn, where he will formally accept English rule. As he begins to ride toward the English, he comes to a halt and invokes Wallace's memory, pleading with his men to fight alongside him just as they did with Wallace. Robert then leads his army into battle against the stunned English, securing the Scots' freedom. If you like this video, please subscribe to see more.